Hey guys, I wanted to share kind of a neat little video with you. This is my 1986 E24 Sharknose 635 CSi. When I got this car not that long ago, the power headrests were not working, but all the other electrical functions, switches on the power seats were working, except the power headrest. So I decided to take things apart today and figure out what was going on. There was a few tips that I found online which helped, but they were more geared towards the E28 four-door, and there's a few things that make this particular video specific and unique to the coupe, the E24 coupe. The first one, taking off this seat back, I thought was going to be straightforward, but it was a little bit tricky. But let me show you what I did. It's real simple. The bottom of the seats are held in place with these two self-tappers right here, and they fit in right under here. And so once you get those off, no problem. That's where they go. One there and the other one there. So they go right back down there. And once you get those two screws off, which is not a problem, then you're faced with trying to remove the actual handle here to move the seat forward for the rear occupant access. One thing that I caution that you do not do is try and stretch these wings over the lever. You will absolutely destroy this piece, and I hope nobody tries to do that because you'll break this piece. So I just kind of scratched my head on that for a few minutes and then figured out that the lever is actually held in place also with the same self-tapper. So this goes in here like that, just like that, and you can just see that little hole right there. This guy goes in there. You take your Phillips, remove that screw, gently lift up on this lever, and it'll come out. If you drop the screw inside the seat, not a problem because you can fish it out later. What I do though is I tend to have my telescoping magnet, I should say, pen with me, so it catches anything that falls. It actually fits really well between in here in this little opening. So as I backed out that screw with my Phillips screwdriver, I was able to catch it and just pull it out carefully. So this, if you guys don't have one of these, please get one. This is the best $4 or $5 I've ever spent, and I have a ton of tools, and this has been a lifesaver through and through. Anyway, so then the lever comes out carefully. This comes out, and then once the lever comes out, then you can actually remove the seat back right here. You don't have to take out both sides, just the one side, and then you lift up, so towards the roof. You can see the clips right here on either side. So you lift up, and then you lift up, and then that way towards the steering wheel. If working, I'm working on the driver's side, passenger side, sorry. Okay, so then you got the seat back out. Then you can see here's the motor for the headrest, this little cylinder, Bosch cylinder. And this is the bracket that it's held in place with right here. And you take there's two 8mm self-tapper machine screws that hold it in place. Remove those guys, then gently pull this cable out of the holder here. It's actually a friction fit, so just pull up on it. Don't forget, this motor is actually oriented upside down, so the cable, as you know, is coming from the bottom here, is pointing up. The motor is actually faced with the with this section here looking down, if you will, towards the floor. I hope you guys understand that. And what is this? So yeah, so once you remove the cable, just take the motor and gently pull it out of the bracket, this metal bracket. And what you'll see, guys, is the actual cable, which is here. What happens over time is things stretch. You know, this car now is 32 years old. And what happens is the square end of the cable does not actually fit inside the square drive inside the motor. So what I did is very carefully, I trimmed the end of this off by about a 1/4 inch or thereabouts, maybe a bit more. And you got to do that very carefully. So here's the piece that I trimmed. It you know, is in here like that, like so. And so that's what it looked like before I started trimming. I trimmed it in my Dremel with a metal cutoff wheel right here. And the way to carefully do that, guys, is I fitted my 1/4 inch 732 socket inside here, like so. So as I was trimming, see how nice that fits? As I was trimming around it, it wouldn't cut the inside of that cable. So that way it basically protected it like a sleeve. And then you can do a nice clean horizontal cut, and of course afterwards you go back and kind of clean up the edges and such. So anyway, after that's all said and done, take this out, and then you push this guy in all the way as far as it can go with your finger, and then feed it back in to the motor like that, and then check to see if it actually works. So here it is, just kind of mocked up, and let's see if it works. So you can see it works perfectly. So this is the first time it's worked in all the time I've owned the car, which hasn't been very long. But I'm trying to catch up on some of these little things that wear out over time and was neglected, or just the previous owner couldn't be bothered with. So anyway, now I have a fully functioning power sports seat, and I just put it back together. I do recommend you grease the gear, the worm and roller right there. Throw some grease on that guy, and then put it back all together. Really, you should be able to do this in about 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes per side. So now after I'm done this passenger side, I'm going to tackle the driver's side, and the driver's side is was the same. Here it is. So, oh, okay, that side's working now. So yeah, so there you have it, and it's nice to see everything working like it should. So hope this helps, and got some more E24 Sharknose videos coming up soon, and also thanks to some of the tips online. They were good, but it's nice to have a video. So take care. Bye.